Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
Thank you, Bailey.
Thank you, Bailey. You ready?
I'm ready. Go for it.
99, 98, 97, 96, 95. 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello and welcome to the show, Kickoffs and Kick-Ons. It is the KOKO show, and we are, well, there's a good mood in the camp, isn't there?
Great mood.
We're up and about for more than one reason. I am the prof. Next to me, it's the DO double. Next to him, it's the back sack and bivouac. Next to him, it's Guantanamo Bay. We are KOKO,
And don't they know it?
don't they? Well, that's why they're tuning in, mate.
Yeah.
Can you spell that, boys?
What is it?
Two-stroke.
That's the line.
Two-stroke.
That's the Lions.
Is it?
They're on their way.
Yeah.
What is it, 6
Well,
days?
not quite.
6 days?
Almost.
Yeah.
They're going to go via Dublin.
Yeah. Big game.
First time the Lions have ever played a match in Ireland.
Oh, good
In
for them.
Ireland.
There you go. I Googled what lions smell like,
Okay.
and they fucking reek. Absolutely stink.
What kind of tones are we talking?
A mixture of musky body odour, dry soiled grass, and a bit of rotting meat thanks to their carnivorous diet and less than diligent dental hygiene, which I think it's apt, isn't it? You played against them? Did they? Was that smell on the ground out
Yeah,
there?
that's quite on point, actually.
That's what the Lions smelled like in
Yeah.
2013.
Particularly the guy who I lined up against, Jonathan Davies. Had a good whiff of him last week too in Singapore.
Oh,
Caught
yeah.
up. We worked out that I think we played each other maybe 11 times. I won 9 of them. And,
And the two that you lost.
yeah, was...
The Lions.
Well, the one that counted for him was the final of the Lions series. But he's a ripper bloke. And, yeah,
Friend of the pod.
very good friend of the pod, the Fox.
Is he coming out to Australia?
Well, funnily enough, I don't know, but he's got a lot. His schedule's pretty busy. He just got back from Everest Base Camp,
Yes,
so he's working with his charity.
I saw that.
He only went to base camp.
And a little bit higher, but it's
It's like you half
I think
do
it's
something. I didn't think the
I
Fox
think
had
it's
only half
still
do something.
3,700 metres above.
Yeah, but it's still not the peak.
I didn't want to say that. Like, I mean, kind of
Yeah, but the way you started that, it was almost like, this is impressive.
yeah. Anyway,
I
it could be.
think-
It
I
could,
think the bus drops you off. At
Yeah.
Everest Base Camp.
yeah. He did say he caught a flying fox down. I would say that that's okay. It's a good achievement. I've got to give him a round of applause. Let's
Yeah, well done,
acknowledge that.
Foxy.
Yeah, good on you. He's doing it for a good
Oh, for
cause.
charity,
obviously.
it's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's off to Mount Kilimanjaro next, I think.
He's doing the mountain tours.
And also maybe an ultra marathon. The two oceans in Cape Town?
Yeah, I'd say there's a couple of them in there.
Yeah, I think
Somewhere.
so.
Yeah, that's where they meet, the Atlantic and the...
Yeah, you can actually see
Something
the
The
divide,
divide, yeah.
the colouring. Anyway,
Fair dinkum.
back
Yeah.
to you, Prof.
Right, yes, the Lions.
Anyway, that's what the Fox is up to. Hold on there, Swoop.
I was just going to say if he wants to come on. That's all, but that's all
Yeah,
good.
he's coming on.
Now, yes, Lions 2 officially this Friday night, NHL time. They take on the Win Pumas in
Yeah.
Dublin, which, as we said last week, hopefully the Win Pumas put 50 on them. We'll all be watching.
I think there's a bit of history in that, wasn't it? 20 years ago that they actually played against them. I was talking to Juan Lobe. He was chewing my ear off when I was at swimming, the kids swimming, because he's a forwards coach there. So he was telling me
Less
about
than diligent.
No, but he was telling,
Hygiene.
Has
yeah,
he,
well, he was telling me about the history of it. So anyway, keep going, Prof.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no, there's
mate.
something here. Hold on. Rare head-to-head history. They've played 7 times. Lions have won 6 of them. So that's what you're talking about. And the last one was 2005.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, the
25 all
20
draw.
Wow.
20 years.
Good. You're on it.
That's what I do.
So, yeah, we're going to be chatting all of that, all things Los Pumas. Also, obviously, Super Rugby semis. Yeah, we won't dig too deep into that.
No, I reckon we glaze over that.
Yeah, we can just go straight past that. URC final. That was that was an interesting one. Not as interesting as the Premiership final. That was a great one. Also, hey, Swoop, you've jagged us a wonderful guest. Well done, son. Who have you got?
Well, I mean, someone's got to do it right. Like,
Yeah, we appreciate it, mate.
Someone's
yeah, no
got
worries, mate. I
Get on
appreciate
his
you.
knees.
He will be. Let me tell you. Are we? I know I've done this before, but are we teasing now?
Well, just say it, I reckon, so people
Yeah, it'd be on the
actually be on the thumbnail.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll give you a clue. It's the Oracle of New Zealand rugby, considered.
Okay.
Oh, Wayne Smith.
Wayne's, you got it, son.
Smothy.
As soon as
Smitty.
you said the Oracle.
Smitty, who's actually parking up in Kirra Beach, Australia.
How do you know Wayne Smith?
I worked underneath him up there in Japan when we won the top league title up there.
Yeah, right.
Kind of memory comes back to me. 55-5 against Suntory Goliath.
Yeah.
Good win for Kobe Seko. Oxcuddy.
Yeah, well, the thing was we'd won it the year before. You know, it's very hard to get back up
Yeah.
the next year.
Yeah, but one of the great coaches I've had the opportunity to work with. You know what I like about Smitty?
What do you like about Schmitty?
Well, I mean, considered one of the best coaches in the world. He, no matter who spoke at the front of a team meeting, whether it was player, coach, foreigner, local, he always is up the back taking notes. So still remains a student of the game.
Yeah.
I wonder if he would take some of those serious, though. Like, you know, someone
Yeah, he's
gets
right,
up,
this
says
guy's
something
fine.
stupid, he says, right, don't let Swoop speak again.
Would you often just get up and address the group? Does anybody jump up? Like all of a sudden there's one of the props up, or you've got the bloke that's playing 22 on his back, or
Not necessarily get up the front, but an address. But you'd certainly put your hand up and
Every now and
raise a
then,
point.
though, like the coach will come to you maybe before he says, I want you to introduce this new shape or what this is. Just a different voice so that people will listen. So it does happen.
That's the type of insight you get on this show.
That's
dressing room stuff. That's very good. Hey, look, Wayne Smith's big, but you know what's even bigger? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a major sponsor.
Oh, how did we do
They
this?
said it would never happen. And gentlemen, this isn't just any major sponsor. This is a blue chip brand.
Yeah.
It is. We are stoked to announce that for our Lions Tour series, we've partnered up with none other than Guinness, the official beer of the British and Irish Lions Tour, and the unofficial beer of rugby fans around the world, because indeed it is a lovely game for a Guinness, gents. Here we go. Look at this.
It's a lovely synergy, isn't it?
Just have a
all that hard work we did last year on the tour up there in the north and all these Guinnesses we consumed. It's paid off, fellas.
Let's see if it's as good here in Australia.
If you were listening, we were drinking Guinness there. What a wonderful drop. And you know what's funny? Often we'll get sponsors on this show and we'll go, we got nothing to do with them. This is a genuine interest of ours, Guinness.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, the synergy, it's crazy. When it came across, I was like, how could this be? I said to Drew, because we were together at the time, I said, pinch me. It didn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real, does
Pinch
it?
But it
Little
makes
nipples.
sense, doesn't it?
Does make sense, yeah.
Well, we were just chatting about when we were in Dublin last year, and the Guinness factory called us to say stop drinking Guinness because we can't keep up with you.
Yeah.
But
But they've caught up.
they have.
Too good to be true.
It is wonderful. Not to mention they're not only sponsoring the show. I believe they're also going to sponsor some of our live shows during the Lions. So
Fantastic. And we're pumped for those.
we are. You remember how that went last time when we were in Ireland? We drank a lot of Guinness. Swoop, do you remember that? Mm-hmm. No. Fantastic. Well, it went well. Great. You were on, mate. You had an outing that
He was
night.
definitely on.
You were the king of Dublin. Remember?
Yep.
Okay, terrific. We are also going to be doing a segment for Guinness throughout the Lions. We won't do it in this first one, but it's in the works. We still got to get it signed
Well,
off.
after the Los Pumas win,
Yes,
then,
we will be ready to go with a brand new
how
Guinness
good.
segment. Down a couple of Guinness and just have a bloody good time. Very excited to have them on the board for the entire Lions series. Go Guinness.
Go Guinness.
Go Guinness. And
All right. Hey, guys, you know what this show's like. Things can change at any moment. And, well, very early for some reason, our guest has joined us. Swoop.
Smothy. Must still be on New Zealand time.
he always just, what does he say? If you're not 20 minutes early, you're late.
yeah. And if you're on time, what is it?
Yeah, it's
Something like
What
that.
you're saying.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Schmitty, he's here. Schmitty, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. I wasn't sure if it was 3:40 or 4.
Oh, yeah. Well, mate, how's the drive back from Byron?
Yeah, good. Fast.
Yeah.
You know, it's quicker to get from Gold Coast to Byron than Ballina to Byron.
Is that an interesting fact?
Well, more often than not, you find a Ballina to go to Byron, but it's quicker.
Is that to do with freeways?
I think so, yeah. Anyway.
Wayne, thanks for joining us to talk travel between
Pleasure, man.
towns. I don't know how much. Have you seen much of this show, Wayne?
About 2 minutes of it.
Perfect.
And you haven't done anything.
Tommy who is our scribe. He's a wonderful writer. He writes a little introduction. And some weeks it's insulting, some weeks it's very praiseworthy. And
This will be nice.
It's lovely, actually.
Yeah, I
Wayne.
knew
It's
it
a
would
very
be.
nice one. Let me read this to you and then we'll get going. This week on the KOKO Show, we are graced with the presence of an absolute rugby legend. There you go, Tommy. He's an oldie but a real goodie. After playing 17 tests for the All Blacks himself, he found his calling in the whistle-blowing and cone-laying life of professional coaching. He has blown whistles and ridden scrum machines in countries like Italy, England, and of course his home nation of New Zealand. He has won 4 Super Rugby titles and 4 World Cups, including one with the Black Ferns in 2021. I mean, the jury is still out if this bloke is any good, or was he just kissed on the proverbial eggplant being born in New Zealand? All jokes aside, this fella is the bloody Dumbledore to New Zealand's School of Rugby Witchcraft and Wizardry, and he is widely considered to be the oracle of everything fucking awesome. So please put your hands together for a man that isn't Bruce Wayne, he isn't Wayne Gretzky, and he is most certainly not a bloody Wayne Kerr. It is, of course, New Zealand's rugby immortal and all-time great Sir Wayne Smith.
Hey.
Yeah, it's the best introduction I've ever had.
Oh, there you go.
I think it's the best introduction we've had for any guest.
Yeah.
You even added on one World Cup victory, which was good.
Did he,
Oh, Tommy.
Oh,
got the
Tommy's got
numbers
his
wrong.
head down.
Yeah. 4, geez, that would have been good.
Oh, maybe he threw in the one where you're playing.
Yeah, no World Cup when I played.
Okay.
There you
well,
go.
And I
then I have
played
no
good.
excuse for Tommy. Sorry about him.
So it might have been a future projection,
We're try-
2027.
Yeah. I wish.
Now, Wayne, you now call Australia home. Is that right? Are you whereabouts are you?
Yeah, semi home. So we have an apartment in Kirra Beach.
Penthouse, I'm sure.
No, if I'd won that 4th World Cup, maybe. It would have been a good house. No, we've got a beautiful apartment. Looks over the water, and yeah, my wife and I love it here. We've got friends with us at the moment. Actually, that's the problem. Every time you come over, you've got a sort of waiting list of people coming to stay. The rugby, the surf club gets a bit of a hiding every night.
Smitty, Swoop, mate, thanks for coming on. Appreciate your time. I'll ask, where are you now? I mean, obviously, I know that you and Trish are parked up there in Kirra, but what's been your latest movements? Where are you coaching?
Oh, Swoopy, I'm blissfully retired, or sort of semi-retired. So I have still have sort of like a contract with New Zealand Rugby to help community rugby. I do some work with the All Black coaches, some work with the Black Fern coaches. Going over to Chicago to do a bit of work for a platform called All Blacks Lab. Don't know much about that, but I'm going apparently. So I just I'm a dog's body, help out where I can.
Wayne, you coached Koopy in Japan there. What was he like to coach?
Well, it didn't start off that well. Swoopy did it. Like he rang me. I think you were in Perth, and he rang me to see when I wanted him to come to Kobe, and I said, I think it was the 1st of April or something like that. He said, "Oh shit, I feel like I've got a keg underneath my jersey." I said, "Well, mate, we'll be doing some Broncos when you get there." So I still remember when we had our first Bronco. I think you did about 5 minutes 10 or something, Swoop.
Yeah, about that.
And it
I'll
was-
take that.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. It's a little bit more than that, but I'll take 5-10, Smitty.
And so that led to a wee discussion the next day about, expected a slightly faster time than that. I talked about Anton Leonard Brown, who'd run, I think, 4:34 a few weeks before I came to Japan. So I mentioned that to Swoopy. And, mate, you should have seen him every single Broncos we did after that. He was yelling at the bloke who was doing the timing. What's the time? What's the time? I think he got down to 4:29, Swoop.
I did.
He got his splits good because then he was coaching me because he said he did that many Broncos that I used to go out hard. And he said, that's not the right technique. Get your tempo, 55.
Yeah, see, that's the trick about Broncos. You've got to set a pace. If you're fresh on your first, right? You think this is all right, but it burns it. It hits you at rep 3. And then I think if you do enough of them, well, Smitty and we were doing about 3 or 4 Broncos a week, all different variations. But like Bronco Master here was just absolutely destroying the boys up there. But the test that I did where I got the 429 was off the back of a little Phuket getaway. It was off the back of a bye. You know how coaches love to put a Bronco on day one back from a little break, as they do. So I had a fair bit of anxiety, so I was hitting the treadie pretty hard there, and also just kind of limited a little bit of the pad thai. The boys had a bet. Hayden Parker, obviously.
Yeah, I remember Hayden Parker.
He's a world-class player, but he was one of the fittest up there at the time, and all the boys were on him, but he went out early. He went out really early. I think
hard.
Bloke's got no idea.
If I remember rightly, a bit of Phuket came up afterwards. Bit of Phuket pad thai. Did they come up on the hello turf?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Anton Leonard-Brown might have been doing a 4:34, but he wouldn't have been as impressive as Swoop off the field at that point. Swoop was getting a few more miles in off the field, I reckon.
But yeah, no, that was a good year, wasn't it, Smitty?
Yeah, great year. The next year was good too, Swoop. Unfortunately, you weren't there, but I had 3 great years at Kobe. Loved it.
It's okay to admit that's probably one of your biggest regrets, letting the big fella go. Probably why you didn't win the next year, right? Or
No, it was COVID. They were doing super well without you.
Okay.
Yeah, get sweat a couple of tangles, didn't we?
Yeah, unfortunately, we won't talk about those though, Wayne. I think we just leave those buried.
So for those of you, I mean, I follow Japanese rugby very closely.
Yes.
But for the people that are listening that don't,
Yeah.
give me the A-listers in each of your team's gits and yours, Wayne and Swoop. You had DC, didn't you, Dan Carter?
We had, Andy
Who else
Ellis,
did you
Dan
have?
Carter, Tom Franklin, Richard Buckman. Just trying to think.
Richard Buckman, he's like the Kiwi Como, eh?
Yeah.
Honey Badger.
Mate, can play.
Yeah,
Plays,
he's good. He's
plays
playing
the game
well
really
too.
well. We had really good locals, like good Japanese players, which is obviously the key. And then we had a couple of,
Brody Retallick as well. You left him out.
He came the year after, yeah. I mean, they got their recruitment process.
Yeah.
And gits you had?
Just me. No, we had a good team as well. Like great fellas. The good thing about Suntory is you bring in your foreigners, but we like to help the locals grow. So that's what we're about.
Did you win a comp there, kids?
We did. We won the first year.
Right.
Then the second year, lost to this bloke.
Now, Wayne, we all watched the Brumbies and cheered them on the weekend. Unfortunately, they went down to the Chiefs, but famously, you've won two sets of 2 rugby super titles with the Chiefs and the Crusaders. Who better to answer this question? Who's going to win this week?
I think if the Crusaders box kick like they did relentlessly on Friday night, I think Chiefs will win it. If Crusaders decide to put the box kick away, they'll have a good shot winning it at home. I hate box kicks. Swoopy knows this. I remember when I turned up and I sat down with Andy Ellis, told him that if he box kicked at all during a game, that he wouldn't play the next game. So we got through most of the season, and Andy didn't play in the final. So we halfback called Hiwasa, who played the final.
He was from Suntory. He was a mole.
That's right. And I don't know if you remember, Gits, buddy, the try that the winger got, Osaki, was it? He came from a box kick that Hiwasa did. It sort of ball bobbled around, and Osaki got a runaway try. And so after the game, we're in the changing room having a few beers, as you do, and this Hiwasa came up to me and he's, Wayne son, box kick. Oh, good. I said, mate, you won't be playing in the first game next year. He was devastated.
After they won the title. Beat us by 50.
Off the back of his box kick.
Yeah. What would you prefer then? If you hate box kicks, because everyone does them. So you're obviously the oracle. Everyone talks about, your rugby brain. What would you prefer? What would you like to see in that, getting out of your end zone?
A strategy where you can A, retain the ball, or B, make it bounce at least 3 times.
Yeah.
So we use a strategy where DC would often kick it straight across like a crossfield kick pass to the winger, particularly if the winger was deep. Then the winger would run towards their winger, bring them forward, stick it over the head of that winger, and then turn it into a foot race against the fullback. And eventually, the other winger would come up. Always they'd start coming up. That meant the fullback would have to go across, and then the blindside wing would have to cover. So we'd sort of hit midfield, and then we'd go back blind and do the same thing on the other side.
Yeah, right.
So it took a while, I'd say, for players to accept it, understand it, but it worked really well. I remember Hayden Parker did one once from his dead ball line. It nearly hit the post actually on the way across. And we nearly scored off it too. So we scored a lot of tries, didn't we, Swoop, off that strategy? Yeah. And we just learned, we were sort of shaping the opposition defence, and as we reshaped them, we would then be pretty clear on where we'd go next. We sort of learnt from each play. We had a very intelligent team. Yeah. We would make our play, then we would learn where the space is now. So we created a bit of chaos, but we'd be pretty clear ourselves where to go. Yep. So that was, so.
It's not often we get this opportunity to tap into, someone with the IP that you have. You're sitting here in Australia at Kira in your green shirt. What are 3 things, looking at Rugby Australia and Australian rugby, the 3 key areas that you think we need to sort of change or make some sort of adaptations to for us to finally hold the Bledisloe Cup?
I always believe that playing, representing your DNA is really important. Mm-hmm. And, if you look back at a lot of those great teams, Aussie teams, the Brumbies teams, you guys played a lot of great rugby. We always had real struggles against you fellas, when I was coaching the All Blacks. Moved the ball a lot, kept it alive, didn't kick the leather off it. Obviously great players, great backs. So I would say that, the game's very structured today. I'm an old timer, and I'm sort of, I'm like a dinosaur in today's game. I took over the Black Ferns in 2022 because of a mental health issue within the team, and the coaches all left, and I got sort of stuck in the middle. And I remember the first training run we had, I was grabbing girls by the pants, by the jersey, saying, "Where are you going?" We had a scrum on the left-hand side of the field at training, and we were moving the ball. We sort of had a play, around midfield, and the far side, Lucy, was running right over the other side of the field. So I grabbed her and said, "Where are you going?" She said, "I've got to get to the other side of the field, Smithy." Sometimes they banged into each other with someone coming the other way. Yeah, right. And it didn't make sense to me. I understand the 1-3-3-1 structure, but to have your best ball carrier run all the way over there when you're attacking elsewhere, it didn't make sense to me. So, and you look at the game today, a lot of the plays that they often go 3 phases before they try and score, which doesn't make sense to me. I think, and it's hard to score off a scrum today because every scrum's for a penalty, and the ball's shit. Like the scrum turns and buckles, and then the ball will pop out, and there might be an advantage, but it's hard to play off. Whereas I reckon scrums, you're nice and close to the opposition. You can often hit little holes, find little fractures there. You get everyone coming forward, allows your offloads. But today you watch out wide, often the players are just standing there because it's not their turn. Mm. And if there is a break by mistake, there's no one to keep the ball alive with. So, I think Aussie should play like that. To me, yeah. You got great coaches. Like Mike Cron's the best coach other than Graham Henry. I'd say Mike Cron's the best coach we ever coached with. He's incredibly inventive, particularly for a forward coach. remember we used to do PD at the end of each All Black season, and I'd go to different sports teams and that sort of thing. He'd go to New Zealand Ballet, or he'd go. He went to Cirque du Soleil. He had slack lines set up between the posts, so the forwards had to learn how to tightrope walk along them for their balance and stuff like that. So he's outstanding. Joe Schmidt's outstanding. Joe Schmidt's really, really strong on the carry clean, getting quick ball. It's then, once you've got that quick ball, it's at that stage I think everyone's got to come together, be in their own space, line up and open doorways. You don't want 2 or 3 players in the same space, I don't think. And then you just do the obvious quickly. But that doesn't seem to be part of the game today. But, I think it should be. And it's something that Aussie could go back to.
Smitty, you've always had a pearl for players, coaches that you've been able to collaborate with. I was just telling the boys before you came on, one of the most impressive things that I witnessed or saw or experienced when I was up in Japan working underneath you was, regardless of who was speaking up the front of the meeting, youngest player, senior player, coach, team manager, you're always up the back writing notes. And you said, it's important to always remain a student of the game. I'd like to know, what have you learned recently, or is there another pearl that you could offer us, or what is there something recently that you can share some light on that you've been able to grow knowledge on?
Yeah, I think the overall pearl is that you never stop learning, and meeting diverse people from different sports, different walks of life, I think is really important. Gives you a different perspective, often gives you solutions to old problems, that you've had in the past. But one in particular, so it wasn't that recent, but in fact it was 2007, so it's quite a while ago, but I'll tell you the story anyway. So I was presenting at a conference in Redondo Beach, California, and I got asked by the guy who was running the conference if I wanted to meet up with John Wooden. Now, John Wooden was 95 at the time. He had been named Coach of the Millennium in the States. He'd won 10 national championships with UCLA in basketball. And man, I was so excited going to see John Wooden. So I had a framed jersey with me that I was going to give to someone at the conference, but I thought I'll take that round to John Wooden's place. So we wander around there, go into his little apartment and present him with this All Black jersey, signed jersey. And he took it off me and he looked around the room. There wasn't one bit of space on the wall. He had stuff everywhere. So he went and sat it on the ground right underneath a signed photo of Mother Teresa. And I thought that was appropriate. And I'd read all his books, and I was really interested. So all his books were around, it's how you run a race, not winning it that counts. And so I wanted to check what that looked like, under pressure, because a lot of people can write that, but is it really a thing? And so I asked him at one point, so in each of those last time outs of your 10 national championship wins, what did you say to the team? And there's it was a minute left. You've all seen those movies, and they've got a whiteboard and X's and O's, and you're going to go there and you're going to go there, and there's a fake pass there, and then you're going to score the winning goal. He said, no, I didn't do any of that. I said, so what did you say? He said, well, I said the same thing in all 10 championship wins, and it was, when the final whistle goes, don't make fools of yourselves. And I thought, that's wonderful. That's about love of the game, faith in the referee to get it right, respect for the other team, knowing that your own team's going to do the best, and you want them regardless to be good people. So it's something that stayed with me for a long time.
You would have been very disappointed with my son on the weekend. He scored a goal and carried on like an absolute flog.
Was he
Oh, he
the
scored the
suey or
goal.
something?
No,
Was he
he just-
celebrating?
Yeah, celebrating big
but
time.
You gave him Macca's afterwards as a reward,
Yeah, I
though.
know, but he doesn't win that much, so I was very proud of him. I was going to ask, so obviously you talk about going to different sports and, you know, trying to learn as much as you can from different sports to bring back to rugby. Which sport that you didn't expect a great deal out of? You know, is there any weird sport that you actually got some pearls of wisdom from or that you can think about?
Not weird, not a weird sport, but Craig Bellamy and Frank Panisi came on Grand Slam tour with us in 2010 from Melbourne Storm, and I got asked at the end of the year after the tour, they contacted me to see if I would come to Melbourne Storm and do some work with their leadership group. So I started in 2011 with the Storm, and I remember going to the first session. Craig was up in front of the team, showing some video from the last game, and it went for about an hour 20, I reckon. He was up on stage, and so after that, he came and said, "I want you to meet with leaders." The leaders were Cameron Smith, Billy Slater, and Cooper Cronk, and I thought, shit, that's pretty high-powered group for a little fellow like me to meet with. Anyway, I go into this meeting with the three of them, and so I wasn't quite sure what to say. So I asked them, how much of Craig's session can you remember? And I think it was Billy Slater said, about 10 minutes of it. And I said, I can remember every single thing that Craig said. And Cooper looked at me and said, yeah, but you were writing it down. I said, well, it's not an exam. Like, I was writing it down. Yeah. And they sort of, at that stage, the three of them said, no, that's a rugby union thing. I think they call it rah-rah or something. Yeah. That's a rah-rah thing. We'd never do that. But 2 years later, when I was there, they were all had the pens and papers out. They were all writing it down.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah, learning stuff there. You know, you evolve, as I said before, through diversity, and yeah, I've learned a lot just from going there. And every time you meet with a new group, and you know they change leaders constantly, of course. You learn something new. One of the key things for them too was, at the time, you know, if those three guys, I asked them about, you know, they had a lot of Polynesian players coming into the team at that stage, 2011, and asked what they knew about Polynesians. They didn't know a lot about it. Next time I went the following year, they had Kevin Proctor and Jesse Bromwich on the leadership group, and they'd taken it seriously. They had Polynesian nights, and you know, they were learning about these people coming in. So what impressed me was how they were able to change, and I think that's the success for Craig Bellamy, ability to change and be ahead of the game. And I wouldn't bet against them again this year either.
No.
Yeah.
Are you responsible for the Melbourne Storm winning a lot? Because I'm not happy with that, Wayne, if that's the case.
I spend 2 weeks there. They send me to Aussie Open. That's my payment. I bring Trish over, and we have a couple of nights at, yeah. So I don't do much for them, but I can't take
train with Bellyache in the morning. I heard he trains like a madman.
Yeah, he's good in the gym.
Yeah.
Yep.
Were you in there?
Normally I go, but we're on different weights. That's for sure.
I want to ask you, Wayne, we've obviously got this Lions series coming up. It's a big deal for us every 12 years. We get it. Two big name coaches, so Joe Schmidt, Andy Farrell. I wanted to ask you first and foremost about these two guys. And secondly, if we remove the players and they sat down and played a game of chess, who would win?
I assume Joe Schmidt would win the game of chess. Like, he's a deep thinker, really smart. Like any any interaction I've had with Joe, it's been amazing. Even in the early days, he was coaching the Blues when I was with the All Blacks, and we would go around to all the super teams and share ideas and get ideas back. He's always great to work with. He's a smart man. Not saying that Andy Farrell's not, but I don't really know him.
But he's a leaguey from the north of England, so we know what you mean.
Yeah. Series is going to be great. My sister got hold of me last year when I was over here. My sister had lost her husband about 2 years ago now. She never watched me play a game of rugby, I don't reckon. I was playing for the All Blacks, never came to any games that I coached. So she rang me to see if I'd get her tickets for her and a friend to go to the first test, the first Lions test up in Suncorp. I said, you got no interest in rugby. What do you want to go there for? And she said, oh, Rod, who was her husband, Rod's taken over my brain and I just love rugby now. I watch every game. So she's coming over with a friend and I've taken them to the first test. Yeah, they're great. I only got silver tickets, so geez, those gold tickets were expensive.
I've got some platinum ones, Wayne, but they're above market price, so we can talk offline. But on the theme of coaches, we like to do something here, which is start one, bench one, drop one. With you being a coach yourself, we're going to do it with 3 coaches. So you've got a head coach, assistant coach, and
drop a coach.
And drop a coach. And these are your options. So Graham Henry, Steve Hansen, and you mentioned him earlier, Mike Cron. So they're your 3.
Keep a coach?
Yeah, so head coach, assistant coach, drop a coach.
Axed.
I have to X one of them.
Yep.
Steve Hansen.
That was quick. I like that. He's axed.
He's axed, okay. Do we want to elaborate on that?
Well, he's a great mate of mine. He wouldn't mind.
Okay. And who's the head coach out of Graham and Mike?
It'd save Steve a bit of work. He'd be quite happy with it. Probably go down to... he always had the best bets in his back pocket. He'd sit in front of the races and he'd probably quite enjoy it.
Gee, I wouldn't have sacked him.
Head coach Graham Henry.
Yeah.
Graham Henry's the best. Back in those days, of course, head coaches coached on the field all the time. And he's a great on-field coach, great analyst, big work ethic. Yeah, so he'd be the head coach. And, Chrono does what he does best. Chrono's never wanted to be a head coach.
Yeah, right.
Just happy with the big fellas, teaching them sumo, teaching them how to walk on slack ropes. I remember the first time I coached with him, I wanted the scrum to stay up and for us to get quick ball off it. And so he decided to make the forwards do a 10-metre army crawl every time the scrum went down at training. And the first month, they were doing about 180 metres of scrum crawls after training. But it soon worked. We'd, right through from 2004 through to 2017, really, we had a strong scrum that we could play off.
Those beer walks are no fun. Remember, we had to do them with cockers for a couple of weeks at Toulon.
Yeah,
horrible.
Now, Wayne, we always set up the start one, bench one, drop one. We do it with the guests, selection of people they played with or worked with. We also do it for our 3 boys. So it's time now to do start one, bench one, drop one. Adam Ashley Cooper, Drew Mitchell, and Matt Giddo.
Swoop's sitting pretty comfy over there.
Well, Swoop asked me to ask it because I think he knows he's getting a start.
Start one, bench one, drop one. So, which of the 3 choices are they?
So these 3 blokes. So Adam Ashley Cooper, Drew Mitchell,
I dropped Drew because he gets red cards. So I dropped Drew.
You know what? I'm going to go park up with Steve Hansen in the best bets. I'm sweet. I know. I got that red card against the All Blacks in Melbourne.
Shit, that's a bad red card, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was weak.
That was weak, all right. Because you wouldn't even get a yellow today for that, I don't reckon. But anyway, so you're gone. Firstly, if you talk to Graham Henry and myself, about our coaching careers, we'd say that Anamishi Cooper and Matt Giddo probably the best backs we coached against in the world. So it's a tough one. Mate, I think I'd have to go for Gitz because he kicks goals, scores tries, runs the game.
Swoop thought he had a layup.
And
How
Swoopy.
embarrassing.
And I've got Marn Honor and Conrad Smith in the midfield, so Swoopy's gone. He's on the but he'd make a good impression when he came on, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, you would. Yeah, we'll bring you on.
5 to go.
Very, very good. Hey, Wayne, we'll let you go. We've kept you long enough. As you go, though, could you give us a score prediction, please? Wallabies versus Lions. That's all we're talking about.
Series prediction. Series
prediction.
Series prediction. I'm going to go against the norm. I'm going to pick the Wallabies to win 2-1.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
There you
2-1,
go.
I reckon.
He's
On the
more
Oracle.
Australian than anyone thinks.
Oh,
this
no.
bloke. Yeah.
Kira Billy. Done it.
That's it.
Yeah, he's pretty close to the Gold Coast. Doesn't take long for the goalie to start seeing into your wounds.
We'll let you go so you can get that 5 p.m. schooner at the surf club.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, boys.
Thanks
Thanks,
very much,
Wayne.
Wayne.
Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. Okay, see ya.
There you go, Wayne Smith. Just dialed in early.
Yep.
I like
and
that.
humble.
Yeah.
Very.
Not very, like most Kiwis you meet, they love themselves, don't they?
What about, yeah.
Oh,
when
no,
he
I
was-
just thought it's easy.
he was talking about
Easy
like,
layup.
being nervous going into the leadership group of the Storm, and they would have been quite young at the time as well,
Oh, yeah.
like 2010.
But that's what I love about that bloke. He's just like the willingness to
Yeah.
continue to learn.
Yeah.
Like goes on PD trips after seasons, just the whole time, just lives, breathes rugby. You'd be watching up at 4 a.m. watching a 4th grade game in Portugal, and then passing the hallway and go, mate, you see that 5-man line out there, right, at 32 minutes? I was like, no, mate.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's kept all those notes.
He would.
He probably
for sure,
would.
Are you
I
sure he's
reckon.
doing notes and not like a Sudoku or something?
Which
Are we
one?
certain he's not?
I thought Cronny taking the Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
I feel like he was just saying that it's going to help with lineouts, but he's just getting good shows in with the family. Like,
I couldn't help. I couldn't help but think those traps off the goalpost. 2 for your arms and 2 for your feet. That's where I kind of went. Anyway, working on your core.
The other
Obviously,
thing we need to just be aware of is that he might be tossing that stuff up so that somebody from the Wallaby camp's watching. Oh, did you hear what Smithy said on the show? And we're doing it. It actually means nothing. That could all just be.
or it may, you watch our boys do Cirque du Soleil and we just kill it.
He might have given something away he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Too much time on Kira Beach. How was your weekend, boys? Is that where we never
Yeah, I
got to
suppose we
that?
didn't get
I
there.
didn't really care. My weekend as a whole was good, but I've got some bad news, fellas. When I do things, I commit. I don't do it in halves. Well, I'm also a man of my word, and we've got this Classics game coming up, and I said that I'm likely to do my hammy. Well, I've done 2 hammies.
Oh, no.
How do you do it?
I told you not
Two.
to put that out
Don't
in
put
the
that
air.
on me.
Was
That's
it him? Was
No,
it someone?
It was me.
So on the weekend, I went up to Toowoomba to play with my brother Zane's team, the Toowoomba Bears. We're going to play 2nd grade at Ladies' Day there against, who are we playing? St. George. And I went on Thursday night. I'd driven from Byron, 4 hours in the car, got there 3 degrees at night, was 5 minutes after training kicked off, quickly put the boots on, straight into a quick warm-up. And then I started doing the backline plays to kind of learn the plays. And my brother hurt his calf and I kind of was having a laugh at him. Very next play, I feel something in my right hemi. And then I just said to Zane, I said, mate, just play behind me on these next few because my hemi's not that great. And so he played behind me and I was changing direction. Left hemi goes. And
What do you mean go?
Well, you just feel something. Like I've done them both multiple times, like 6 times each in my career. So I know the feeling. And I was like, oh, that didn't feel good. And there's a bloke there, Frenchie, who was filthy that I was taking his spot. I think he kind of pushed me from behind. I don't know. But I think Frenchie, he got his start on the weekend. So, Frenchie, thank you.
How did Frenchie go?
Frenchie went all right. Yeah, he went all right. He could do with a bit of soap in his hands. He's a Boilermaker. So, one of those, you shake his hand, he actually works hard.
He's a man.
Yeah, he's a man, yeah. And mine are like all nice and moisturised. But anyway, got a scan on my left hamstring last night and my right hamstring this morning. I was just getting pushed in where I could fit. And they've said I've done a decent tear on my left and a mild tear on my right. And the doctor said, like, it's...
You've done both.
So
know. Sharon Firehive, our old Wallaby doctor, she was the one that kind of like helped me get those
You
scans.
don't
She's
do
like,
anything
"Drew,
in halves.
It's not often that you see both hammies go.
So what does this mean?
Well, I'm waiting on the reports to see the severity of what a decent tear is. But of course, like we've only got a 4 or 5 week turnaround.
5 weeks, yeah.
5 weeks before this first Classics game. But I roped you boys into it. So, hell or high water, I'll strap.
We'll get you to the
My
start line,
hamstring.
Drew. Don't worry.
Wasn't your whole concern about these games doing an injury that you can't rehab back from? At the moment, you can rehab back.
Yeah.
You want to keep pushing?
Well, yeah. I mean, I want to get to those games. Like my goal was to get to the Classics game. I want to be around that dressing room and do all that. And I've roped you boys in, so I feel like a sense of responsibility. I was anticipating a hamstring tear at some point because that's just how my body is.
Yeah.
But I was hoping it was going to be during one of those games and not 5 weeks
And
prior.
just one
And
leg.
obviously,
And just one.
just one. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've gone for both.
Sport. It's cruel, isn't
I
it?
know.
Well, not even sport.
It's not
And
fair.
why was it 3 degrees? You're in Townsville.
No, I was in Toowoomba.
Oh, what's the difference?
Well,
It's Queensland,
about
isn't it?
800 kilometres.
Yeah, and about
Yeah,
30
right.
degrees.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Drew, sorry to hear, mate.
So do you think the price will change? Like betting apps and stuff without D.
As in,
Mitchell
are
in there?
you saying, will our odds get better or worse?
I'm not saying anything.
No.
That's
I'm
nasty,
asking-
mate. I saw the smirk in your
No,
face.
it was the way he
I saw
was
your
smiling.
smirk.
I was saying they'll be plunging on the bloody Lions now and there's no D. Mitchell out there.
Good.
Yeah, because I was
Good,
ready to have a
'cause that's
crack.
what I was hoping you
Actually,
were.
I still
Well, I
am. I'm going to be.
Well, if you're not playing, I'm not playing.
No, I'm playing. I said I'm playing.
Well, I'm playing.
Mate,
But
we're in now, like,
I just don't. Sorry, I'm just finding this hard to comprehend because, like, you're in such good nick. You've put a lot
that's the
into
thing,
this
but I
health
hadn't- I haven't
kick.
done any
You've
running.
got gorgeous, gorgeous legs.
Well, I went
had
hard.
you
on the-
been doing many RDLs or just
No,
squat?
no. So they're
What's
strong.
RDL?
My legs are
Sorry, the
strong.
hamstring, you bent
But,
forward and
Romanian
you
deadlift.
were
But that's just it. Are you long and strong?
No. So I've like sciatic and
'Cause I know
all
you're
that. Like
long.
I've tightened up. Neurally, I must be absolutely pinging. Like to do both.
Yeah.
Well, bro.
I'm shattered. My weekend was great till now.
I actually had a few of the Bears players after the game like, oh, you fake your injury, you didn't want to play with us. Like, guys, I've fucking torn 2 Emmys trying to play for you.
Yeah, and I drove 4 hours.
Yeah.
Mate, it's, I don't know. I feel like this is the lowest point of the podcast we've
Yeah.
ever had.
I will say, though, my brother Zane got MVP and Bronson off the bench, got 60
how good.
out and went really well as well.
There you go.
Good on you, boys.
Good
I
day for
knew
the
Bronson
Mitchells.
to do it. Zane
How did they get
as
through
well.
a game and I couldn't? Like, fuck.
Weekend was okay?
Weekend was great. Kids won. It was just a real winning weekend
Fantastic.
for the kiddos. And then,
Most weekends are.
yeah, but then this, I don't know, this one shattered me because like, my only other option to pass is Swoop now. Like, I had Biv.
Yeah, I know. You don't have anybody else out there? Isn't there a Tiranui or a...
No.
Who
So
else is
I
running
even
around?
ran into Joe Roth in Canberra.
Is
I
Roffy
said, why
running?
haven't you got your name down?
No?
He says, what is there to gain out of that? I can only see downside. I said, what do you mean? Like, you get to get around the boys and a few beers? He said, yeah, I can do that anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
right.
Good chance, yeah.
Well, he's
Hey,
not allowed in the
Proffy,
dressing room.
could you
Step up?
potentially?
Oh, I'm not registered. You need-
We'll pay your reg.
That's like $200, isn't it?
No, it's a Wallaby cap.
Yeah, I'm definitely not registered. Long way off registered. That one game I played in year 10, I don't think that qualifies.
Crossfield kick try, though.
Yeah, it's a good one. I was thinking that when Smithy was talking about it. I was thinking, mate, you're telling me. Made a bloody living out. Swoop, how was the weekend? Talk to
Good.
me.
Got back from Singapore over the weekend. I was
Oh,
up
yeah.
there last week. Ben Nicholson and Johnny Belfast Caldwell invited me up to join the Fox and a few other guests, Morgan Tooney, Justin Harrison, to work a bit of a Q&A panel up there at the Atlas Foundation dinner, where it's a great cause. They raise money and awareness for underprivileged kids to provide educational tools. So it was good.
How
Gitchy
did
did
you
it a
go?
couple of years ago.
I did. How did you go on stage?
Very
'Cause
well.
You were phenomenal.
But
Oh, good.
I did, didn't I? It was black tie,
Yeah, you went blue suit.
blue suit.
Controversial.
It was,
Statement.
but black tie.
Did a lot of people come up to you saying, oh, blue suit, black tie?
Yeah, Justin Harrison mentioned a few
Yeah,
times up on stage. And I made the mistake of poking the bear with Googie up
Yeah.
there. He's the
don't.
best series.
Yeah.
You don't. So I learnt my lesson.
Okay.
Don't poke Googie Bear.
Okay. Is Googie playing?
Apparently, yeah, he's on the. Yeah, I think he's in the
Stick him
list.
on the wing.
I don't think Morgs is even playing, is he?
No, Morg said his shoulders obliterated. He wouldn't be able to.
Obliterated. He never used them. Seriously.
Tommy,
he
can you
just
find some
carried.
vision and see if he ever used his shoulders?
Prof, how was your weekend?
It's good. Up to the Blue Mountains.
Oh, yeah. I'm there. I'm off there tonight.
Mate, magic joint.
Hydro.
Went to Scenic World. Where'd you go?
I'm going up to the Hydro.
What's her name?
No, it's actually a work thing.
Okay.
Bit going on though up there. I think there's a bit of a Nimbin feel up there now.
Oh, you on the chuff chuff?
Well,
On a little puff puff?
Wentworth Falls took the kids in and just got the giggles and got very hungry. I think there's a bit of a movement up there, I think.
Oh, you think like they're actually serving it?
Well, I don't know.
Unbeknownst.
Yeah, have a look. If anyone's going to find it, have a look.
I've always wanted to know what that smells like.
Smells terrible, mate. Oh God, it's horrible.
Tastes better.
My learnings, though, we have a live show at Felons in Brisbane. People have been asking. I mean, Cirque du Soleil has nothing on the four of us when we get up there.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful live show. So if you are coming from the UK, make sure you book. I'm hoping the ticket link will be up by the time this show is live. If not, it'll be up in the next few days. So Felons, but you boys went there.
It's the Felons
Felons
Barrel Hall.
Felons Barrel Hall.
Yeah, so just there in the Howard Smith walls, underneath the Story Bridge, epic venue.
Yep.
Fill the place. You have to get in quick because I feel like with all these Lions supporters coming down.
Yeah, it's not a huge venue.
Yeah, I mean, like, about 700-800 or so, so you've got to get in early.
It's on the Thursday, the 17th.
Yes.
Before the Brisbane game.
It's that good. We could just stand up there, not say a word, and everyone will have a great time. That's how good it is.
Sorry, is it like Aussies get tickets first? Or we?
No,
sorry, it's anybody.
No, we take pound.
We do. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry about that. Yeah. Everybody is welcome. Swoop, will you be there on the night? Will you? Because
Yeah, absolutely, I'll be there. I just hope that I don't walk out a felon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going based on the European live shows we did. You made a big entrance at all of them, and there was a couple there where you really stole the show, I'd have to say.
But they loved him. It wasn't that it wasn't not
magic.
wanted.
It is. It was a thing of beauty. So yes,
I'll
you'll
see
be there.
what I can whip up.
Okay. Very, very good. Hey, we did speak about Superb Rugby. Unfortunately, the Brumbies did go down. That was the Saturday game. They went down to the Chiefs 37-17. Let's go in chronological order, though. The Crusaders, 21-14. Crusaders are back.
They're back.
They
And
doubted them.
they're back at home for their super final.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's huge. Crusaders just know how to play this time of the year and under these sort of pressures in finals footy. I'm really looking forward and excited to see potentially James O'Connor win it with the Crusaders. That'd be really cool.
That'd be really cool.
That probably is what sways me towards the Crusaders. More of a want to see them win for that reason, but I think it'll be a great final against the Chiefs. I mean, both teams are really capable of ball in hand. I think Will Jordan obviously being back for the Crusaders certainly helps them in their attack. But yeah, I mean, I even quite like the halves pairing. We were talking about it off air, Goit.
Yeah.
Noah Hotham and Ray Hana.
Yeah. I think he's
Jeez,
yeah, I
mate,
think he's
Ray Hana's
he's
been impressive, eh?
He's good. And it's not just ball in hand. Like when they were defending for about 80 phases at the back end of the game, he was searching, looking for contact. Like he's a competitor. It was just that game, I don't know, for me, I've always thought that he was a handy player. But then that on a big stage, and then you're saying, obviously, the 9,
Noah,
huge raps on.
Yeah, Noah Hotham, he goes well as well. I just like the way that they play. They service really well, but they also snipe. So they're just always a threat.
There was some spice there, this game.
Yeah, finals footy.
No, but I just reckon even these teams,
They don't like each other.
you could sense, there's a bit of chat, and there were a couple of little niggles, kind of could have gone into fights. Like you just see, I think there was genuine dislike for each other, which I love to see.
Yeah. Well, they're up 14-0, the Blues, and then didn't get it done. Chiefs 37, Brumbies 17. The score doesn't really tell the story. It was 19-17 in the 43rd minute. Lack of discipline, is that what you'd say?
Yeah, I think also they tightened the screws a little bit in the second half. I thought the Chiefs, there wasn't really too many opportunities for the Brumbies boys. They kept fighting, kept competing till the end, but I think probably the better team did win. Losing Noah early also with Debrasini on the bench. I don't know why Meredith, who'd played all year,
sure about that, are we?
wasn't on the bench, because Debrasini, he's been in the system for a few years, but he's not played much rugby at all this year.
Yeah, so
it
it
seemed to.
makes you think maybe Meredith must have been injured or something.
Yeah,
right?
potentially. I don't know.
We just haven't heard anything about it. So
Yeah,
right in the
Well, Debrasini's known to have a big boot. Would it be a more of a strategic kind of kicking selection, or
But also, you know what it's like timing. If you're
absolutely?
not playing week to week, even training, getting your reps in, you'd imagine while the starting 15 are training, Meredith would be running the reserves, and Debrasini be thrown out of position, fullback or something else. But he just wouldn't get as many reps. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't that he played poorly, but it was just more once Noah went off so early. That's when I suppose you question your subs.
I mean, you said it earlier around that. What is it? 80+ phases with the Crusaders game. Defence coach will probably be saying, that's defence wins championships. A lot of people say that. I think in terms of discipline around the ruck in D was probably lacking with the Brums. They've been pretty strong all year, because if you're letting a winger through on those little snipes, Nadawa kind of through, it's kind of like you need to address that pretty quickly, and I don't think they did that in time, because they're game-changing moments. To be fair, like speaking of that, actually, both wingers were quite good, Corey Toole and Nadawa. Nadawa got a double, but Toolshed's finish.
That was good, wasn't it?
Bump,
that and the Debrasini
off the kick,
off the
shin,
the shin, and then for him to get that down, because like you're seeing that fly through the air, and you're just like, fuck, because that bounces anywhere. Kind of want that nice little end over end, because you know you're going to get a single plane kind of bounce, and you know where it is. You kind of judge the put down, but he was class.
Yeah, he's comfortable too.
Yeah, it's easy.
Got it.
Bolter for the Lions.
There or thereabouts. It's hard. I mean,
I don't think they're going to take both Brumbies wingers.
No.
And I think Muirhead's had a pretty solid year. I mean, the tool shed, though, like I played with Corey at club footy as well. Like, he can do some special things, especially if you're chasing a game.
He's got X factor, right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He's got speed.
I mean, I really like Muirhead, and we've been saying it all year, but something makes me feel like if they were to pick one of those two, they'd go with Corey.
Yeah.
Like if they haven't picked, Muirhead's been solid for years.
Yeah.
They haven't picked him yet. I don't know. Like, I just think because of that factor, like an X
Do you
factor
reckon
type
it's
thing,
based
maybe.
on
Hold on, mate. I'm still going. Because that X factor thing, maybe they'll go with Corey.
Do you reckon it's based on do you reckon it's based on a coach's opinion that he might not be able to level up?
Could be, yeah.
Because he hasn't had the opportunity yet.
Yeah.
I reckon like it, because they're two different games, right?
Yeah.
Super Rugby and international level.
Yeah, it's different.
I'd love to see him get a crack, because I reckon he'd perform. I reckon he could level up.
He's been great, been solid for a long time.
Just ask Schmitty, you blokes talk to him, don't you? Can you
we'll
shoot him a text?
Yeah.
What about the try-saving tackle from D-Mac?
No.
Was that...
It's like a 1-1. When they played
That's
through the
unbelievable.
year, Righty did it
Oh, you
to
got one,
D-Mac.
yeah? That was special.
Special,
just sliding,
yeah.
just getting the ball under. Would that have been a conscious thing? Would it have been when he's running at him? Is he thinking, "Let me just put my hand"?
Kind of
I mean,
looked that way.
It was conscious to get your hand under there, and then obviously then there's an element of luck to kind of grab it the way it is. I mean, looking back on it, I think Righty could have done any number of probably 3 different things and scored that try, right? Because it was D-Mac, not the biggest guy. Step back into him, take the hit and ride it over. He could have gone up at the aerial, sort of dive over and put it down, or put it in his left hand, the other side. So, I mean, but that's one of those things in the split second you make a decision, you've got to go with it. D-Mac did a really good job, but still not the best try save of the year. Matty Levi still holds up.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that Tom Wright, that kind of that skill to. I'm thinking if you rewind from the kickoff, I reckon under the post after the Chiefs scored the points, I reckon he's gone, you know what, put it midfield. I'm going to contest this because they hadn't gone to the middle at all. A lot, not even all season. He's going to get me. I'll get the tap back. Didn't get the tap. I actually caught it, ran, almost got the line. So that's actually pretty impressive. You need to acknowledge that.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely got some freaky.
He's got the skills, but it's more just the mindset. Like I've got this. Give me. We need. The
Well,
ball back here
you
off
had
this
to go
kickoff
for it too. After those points went there, it's
100%.
now getting too far away,
and
you got to chase the game
and execute.
They weren't the only 2 games that took place on the weekend. A couple
They
other
weren't.
big ones up north for UNHLs. The URC final was at Croke Park in Dublin. Leinster 32 defeated the Bulls 7.
Yeah.
Geordie Barrett, goodness me.
Yeah.
Good little try.
Yeah.
Which almost doubles Drew's argument about why he didn't
The bench.
Yeah.
play in the
Yeah.
Heineken. Well,
Yeah.
Heineken, sorry.
The Champions Cup.
Did you find that very validating, Drew?
I mean, I don't need that validation. I always know I'm right.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And you are.
Thank you.
Your Hemis aren't right, though.
No, God.
No, they're not.
You had to give him a little crack, did you?
You know what, though? I'm pretty confident in them. I reckon they'll bounce back.
I know they will.
Will you for both? Do you think you'll be there for Melbourne? Because that's
Yeah, I'll be
4
there.
weeks, 5
He'll
weeks, 6 weeks.
Definitely line up for Melbourne. If it's in his mind that he's going to play, it's Sydney that may be questionable.
Yeah, but that's the one I really want to play.
Oh, so you think?
Ooh.
Okay.
Anyway, good on Leinster.
Good on Leinster.
Yes,
But,
sorry,
mate,
yes.
It's an absolute smasher.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Next.
Not
Well,
much of a
Jake White,
final.
he had some things to say post-match about the number of international superstars in Leinster as opposed to the Bulls. Roll this in for me, Tommy.
Even though it's straight off the game, the lesson I've taken from that is the one I've been telling you. We need more international players to play in our province. I need what Leinster have. I need to be able to fight fire with fire. And that's not going to change, guys. I mean, I'm going to ask you a question. Leinster, Toulouse, Leinster, La Rochelle. I mean, what do you think you need to win those games? Academy players or in-season internationals? I think the biggest cheer tonight was for Bowden Barrett. He's not Irish.
He's also not Bowden. It was
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get what he's saying
Or you don't know. they may have shown a photo of Bowden,
at that time.
potentially.
I mean, I understand what he's saying, but
But also
What do you
say it
mean?
before the game.
No, say the start of the season. Like
Well,
that's,
also, you're in the change room and your coach goes into the press conference and just blames the fact that you're not an international. Wouldn't you
that's
just
trying
go-
to. What is he? The GM there of the Lions. He's trying to save his job. Director of
Bulls.
football.
The
He's-
pretty sure
Yeah,
Leinster
sorry,
kind
sorry,
of
the Bulls.
Yeah.
He's just trying to save his job.
Oh,
There.
right.
That's just saving face. Just to say, oh, we're never going to up against them.
Yeah.
Like, just give them credit. They're a good team. Like, sure, I mean, they've got some star players, but they still have to gel. It's a long year playing 2 competitions. Like, you've got to give them credit.
there's also an argument for recruiting good players. You know, that's half the battle as well. Like,
Yeah.
kind of just dissing that whole process.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
he is right in what he's saying compared to the team that he's got. But you knew that, like Drew said at the start of the year, you've known it all week. So you could have played that card
yeah.
throughout the whole week.
But
Whereas
also,
playing at the end of the game, I don't know.
they're a South African team of back-to-back world champions. Why not get some of your own superstars? Like, fill your team with them. Like, they're the biggest superstars in world rugby at the moment, the South Africans. Like, fill your team with South African superstars.
Keep
Like,
going.
So that's what I mean. It's just it's
Yeah.
a muted point. It's like you've just lost the final. Give credit to the opposition.
It's sour grapes. That's
Yeah.
what it feels like. Premiership, in the Premiership, Bath defeated Leicester 23-20.
Sour grapes. Did you see Czech come down at half time?
Yeah, I was just going to ask him, what do you
was
reckon he
that
was saying?
I don't know.
Well,
Love to
He even
know.
said something to Drico. Like,
yeah, but I don't think he was blowing up at Drico. I think he was just
No,
no,
I
he
think
wasn't.
Drico was
No.
just-
He was probably reinforcing to Drico what he's blown up about.
I think if we roll it in here, I think there's a guy standing next to Drico who's wearing the Leicester Tigers shirt, and he's actually directing it at him. Tommy's rolling it in here.
You see, I think that first one is just getting one of those assistants or sideline guys, getting them away from the field. So, like, I don't think, like him grabbing and pulling away is probably more just to stop anything happening. This is the confrontation. Well, not a confrontation.
No, not
just the worst.
confrontation.
Like,
I
Drico
love
knows
seeing
that
him like that.
He
No.
would have worked with him at Leinster, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he's talking to Drico, or do you think?
Yeah,
No,
I
I
reckon he's
think-
probably saying I was bagging this.
I
prick or
reckon
something,
it's a
don't
good shout that the bloke behind Drico that we can see now is part of the
Yeah, he's wearing a
refereeing
Leicester.
official
Yeah, right.
team.
know. Yeah,
And
right.
Anyway,
Um,
something indirectly.
I do love seeing him like that, though.
So
I love it.
what's next for Czech, by the way? Has he said that yet?
Comes home.
I don't think
Nah.
he's sort of locked in anything yet. But like, I like seeing that from Czech. Like, as a player, you'd like to see that it means a hell of a lot to you. You're going into bat with your player, and also not just from a player's point of view. I would imagine also the Leicester fans can see that it means a hell of a lot to Czech as well. Like, and I know that people sit there, and, this and that, whatever. Like, he's throwing his toys again, all that sort of shit. But like, why would we not want more people with passion like that than just like absolute bores?
I'm not trying to validate the blow-ups, but some of the decisions in game were like
Oh yeah,
pretty shit house. It got to a point then when one of the calls that didn't go Leicester's way, which should have, kind of the camera view went up to check, and he was just actually started laughing because it was
laughable.
laughable.
So obviously the big one was Dan Coles.
yeah, that was
Um,
hard to watch.
Yeah, poor
I mean,
bugger
that's
last game.
it's a penalty. Like,
Is it?
It's a
Do you?
Like you can't move midair.
Is that a?
He's
does he get
contesting
sent
the
off for
ball.
that?
He's in a position where he's tried to contest the ball. He hasn't taken the leg out. Yes, he's made contact. It's a penalty, and also sometimes you just got to understand the context
It's
of
also
the
a
situation
Gia.
and the occasion. Like 10 minutes to go in a final.
When it was the difference.
Yeah, I mean, he was still going to get the penalty anyway. So
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
that kicks off and talks
that's a good
about
point,
that
yeah.
was the difference, he was still going to get the penalty.
True.
So we've got to give Bath credit.
No,
for-
absolutely.
they
No,
don't-
no,
but
yeah.
I'm thinking people watching this would think we're just pushing
No.
Leicester side.
I just think 15 on the field, that didn't warrant 14 on 15.
No, especially his
last
last
10.
game as well, which he can't. The rest not going to take into
can't come into
consideration. But I
Question.
Go
Bath,
on.
Can I just say I thought Bath were sensational, and our friend of the pod, maybe our best friend of the pod,
Yeah.
he Finn Russell, he was good. He was very good.
I've got
That's
lunch
my
booked in with
question.
him
Have you?
in 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Do
What's
they
that
play
mean?
the Force in
Who's
2
paying?
weeks? Probably Kirtley.
That's
After-
You,
after
Kirtley,
Western-
and Finn.
Yeah, after the Western Force game. We've got a lunch down there in Cottesloe.
Oh, lovely.
That'll
Well,
be quiet.
We'll be sending you with a camera, mate.
What was your question, son?
Right off the back of yours,
Yep. What is it?
Finn was very good on the weekend.
Yes,
I reckon that's kind of created a little bit of concrete for his 10 positional lines. What do you reckon?
I think so.
Yeah.
He kicked all his goals. He put them in the right parts of the field. Showed good composure even after the game. He was still very subdued and. Don't know. It's almost like it was a formality, almost the way he was interviewing, like he knew it was going to happen.
Did you see the footage? They lost last year. And he's like, and the coach came up and said something to him. He's like, we'll have to win it next year.
How good is that?
And then,
Well,
and then there was also footage after this game where he passed that try to the young fella, and he's like, his father played for Bath and lifted trophies.
Yeah,
and
it's a great story, but
I
I
know.
think he.
He didn't need to throw it, though.
No, I
right?
reckon
Why
he
did
was
throw
worried.
it?
Maybe he's going to get run down. I reckon
Oh.
it's a great story, and it's super to frame it that way.
Roll it in, Tommy.
But as someone that's taken an intercept, if you can get there, you're scoring in
Yeah.
a grand final.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think,
But,
calling
but hang on,
bullshit.
selfless.
Oh, I think it's very selfless. I think it was an amazing play. It all worked well. But I reckon there may have been a bit of doubt. That's why he threw it, as well as his story potentially.
When
But-
you're on your bottomless brunch, drinking
Yeah,
your
I'll get to the
mimosas,
bottom
can
of
you
it.
ask him?
But to your note on his kind of composure post game, maybe he's got old mate Wooden's book. You know how you
Yeah, that's
your
right.
behaviour after the
Smothy.
whistle
Yeah.
blows.
Had a word to smother.
You want to roll this in, Tommy? What do you got for me?
no, he doesn't have that.
Oh, well, you let everybody down, Tom.
Fuck you, Tommy.
Honestly.
What's he been doing all week?
Oh, mate.
That got him. That got him. That got him.
Probably looking up those teddy bears. Those teddy bears.
The Lulus or whatever.
That's it. He's into these little Lulus or something.
Yeah. What are they? Have you got one, Tommy? Can you bring it on and show
Give
everyone?
us a
he's
look,
waiting for
mate.
the delivery.
Mate,
Give us a look,
it's not
please.
getting cut out.
It's in his satchel.
This is not.
No, I
hanging
think
off the
he's
side
waiting
of it.
on the delivery.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah.
Oh, really quickly for other NHLs.
Yeah.
Next weekend, demi-finale. The
yeah.
Toulon are playing Bordeaux.
yes.
Oh,
I've
have you got that?
here.
Oh,
I
right.
do, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're in the
Top cut.
semi-final against Bordeaux.
at Bordeaux.
Well, and friend of the pod,
Yeah.
Ma'a scored for Toulon in their 52-23 win over, how do you say it, sorry?
Cast.
They were cast.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
First try for Toulon in 7 years. Have you spoken to the big fella?
I mean, first try in 7 years. It's also his first season there in 7 years, so it's a great headline. Yeah, text him. 2 to go. He actually said this was a play that we had at San Diego, but I didn't call it where we'd play him up. So, anyway, Scucks, all the best. Go Toulon.
Yeah.
Go
Go
Toulon.
Toulon.
Pascal
big time.
Toulon.
Yeah,
Allez,
Pascal
Toulon.
Toulon. Allez, Toulon, all of them.
Let the better team win, mate.
Yeah, and they will.
What's happened there? Because Bordeaux just won the European. Does it just not make sense? How is that? That's
Sometimes
a huge
they
swing.
align. Sometimes they align.
It's
And
30 points.
well,
No,
What are
so
you
that was
talking about?
cast. Toulon beat cast.
Apologies.
And Bordeaux had the game off.
That is a good Guinness. All right. All right. Well, good luck to Toulon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hopefully they get it
Bon
done.
chance.
Now,
Legal.
guys, when it rains, it pours.
Does it?
In terms of sponsors,
Let's
don't
get
tell
an
us we got
umbrella.
another one.
we've got another one.
What? What?
We have on board for the entire Lions series. We have Tab. Big round of applause for Tab. They're going to be providing series odds, game odds, that sort of thing. We're going to try and give up a few same game multis. That
Yeah,
sort
so
of
they're
stuff.
going to do more markets, aren't they?
They are more rugby markets.
Yeah.
We are the place that they are testing it. So if you support us, make sure you gamble responsibly and support Tab. Now, guys, as I said, the Wallabies are about to play the Lions. I'm going to say, how many? Is it 3 weeks, gents?
Oh, no, the Wallabies game's about a month away.
It's a month away. Terrific. But what we're looking at today in the Tab segment is futures, the odds,
lovely.
because It's very juicy, these odds for the Wallabies. I believe they are very underrated. Paying $3.25 to win, and the Lions are $1.35 to win. What's happening there?
To win the series.
Yeah.
That's lovely odds.
Oh, that's juicy.
Yep.
I'd put
I mean, you say gamble
$10 on
responsibly. You're making it pretty tough when you give me odds like that.
What do you reckon's the go there? Do you think it's an English bloke that's working at Tab, or why are they such big outsiders, Drew?
Well, I mean, I think when you look at it, there's 4 national teams put together. I think probably 3 of those national teams are above us in the world rankings. So, I mean, a lot of it speaks to it, but I think like what we're able to put together and the confidence we're getting from the Super Rugby, just the end of season tour last year. I don't know if the Six Nations really impressed me that much.
No.
So I don't know. I like the look of that 325.
Wonder if that'll shorten up now that Wayne Smith's come on and said Wallabies 2-1.
What are we gonna do?
Do you think Smithy will shift the market?
I think after TAB hear that, that'll shorten.
$1.90, $1.90. You reckon?
Well, what we need to do is outlay before this episode releases, right?
Yeah. Responsibly.
Responsibly.
Yeah.
During this segment, why don't we do our next set of Lion Tamers here? Tommy, bring them in, because people they're dying to know. Are we up to halfbacks? Where are we up to? So for those of you that are joining for the first time, we've been naming our 38 Wallabies that'll take on the Lions.
Yeah, we're at the halfbacks. Let's go.
We've basically done the forwards. Let's move into our backs, guys. I'll obviously go first.
Yeah, go on.
I am going to say I've got a good feeling about Jake Gordon.
Okay.
Ooh,
Good
okay.
shout.
Have
So
a
we've
couple
been
of
reading the
things.
news.
Well, there's strong rumours that he may be the captain.
Yes.
Yeah, it was released last week that there's a bit of push for that. I mean, look, the journos, unfortunately, the journos are always pretty close to what's going on. There's always a leak somewhere. But does that speak to maybe that Harry Wilson maybe not starting, or is it more that Jake Gordon's a stronger option as captain? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot that you could read into it.
Bro, we left Harry Wilson off.
Well, I don't think we've filled all of our
we decided
I don't
to
think
move
we've
to
got all of our back rows down, but
Okay. Maybe, yeah, so I put him to 23. Put him in black at 23. Okay, yeah, keep it that way. Okay. I mean, this is going to be tough if everyone's talking about Jakey Gordon as a captain, but for me, I would love to see Ryan Lonigan get a crack.
Yes.
I would love him
Ryan
to have get an opportunity in the jersey. Maybe that Fijian test, the first one. Hopefully it'll go well, and I think he's had a super year for the Brumbies this year. Goal kicking, even his box kicking, both feet. I don't know. I've just been really impressed with him for a number of years, but especially this year.
And to top off 3 halves in the squad, because I think there'll be 3 halfbacks picked, I'm going to go Tate McDermott.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I wish I'd said Tate.
do you reckon? So Whitey, he's going to miss out altogether. You reckon? It's competitive, isn't it? The halfbacks. It is super competitive.
Probably better for him to hear it from you guys, than because you're his mates.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, that's 4 with Harry, so should we just leave it there? Or
There we go.
Yeah. And then next week
Oh,
we go
yeah,
into
gotcha.
fly
Yep.
halves and
Okay.
12s.
Very,
Thanks,
very good.
Tommy.
Now,
Sorry, Beef, I took yours.
That's okay.
And, oh, no, I didn't take James's.
No,
He
very
always
good.
goes the
So
obvious one.
a couple other things to announce with Tab. We are going to be doing the live shows on the morning of each
So many live
game.
shows.
Lots of live shows because people want to hear it. They want to hear from you guys.
Well, no, we like pressing the flesh. We like to get that energy, that feedback.
It is the best part of what we do. The
Yeah.
live shows are so much fun.
Yeah. Like at the moment, we're doing it for Bailey and Tommy.
Yeah.
As Smithy said, you do the obvious quickly. That's what I took out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a bit of a dumb audience in here today, so we want to...
That's what I like about you, Gits, always learning.
Always.
You are. So there's going to be one at the Coogee Bay Hotel. Let's start in, the Regatta Hotel in Brisbane is the first one. That's
Mate.
before the Brisbane test.
Oh, I've got a story about the regatta.
Oh, do you? Fantastic. So for the day, then obviously in the Melbourne one, we're going to be at the Village Bell Hotel. Oh, that's a great hotel there. That's from 10 a.m. as well. And then finally in Sydney, the Coogee Bay Hotel at 10 a.m. If those walls could talk when you blokes used to
What
stay down
about
at Coogee.
Swoop? The array of photos and the
3
different
from
things that
3.
you do.
3 from 3.
You're amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
You are great.
Now, the last thing I'll say, we have a large audience that doesn't live in Australia. So if you're visiting from overseas, Tab has you sorted this British and Irish Lions tour for all your punting needs. Download the Tab app today for all the latest British and Irish Lions tour odds and same game multi-markets. And also, let me just say this if you are visiting, because, you know.
I won't be, but they might
No,
be.
they will be, and they'd love to go to a pub. You know what these Brits are like. If you are heading into one of our iconic Aussie pubs to watch the games, look for ones with a Tab area where you can use the terminals to place your Lions series bets. Big thanks to Tab, and it's great to have them on board. Hopefully not just for the Lions.
Yes.
Say that.
Long term.
Also for the end of the year.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
So, obviously, the Lions tour is going to be big for the players. You know who it's going to be even bigger for?
Who?
KOKO show.
Yeah.
This
What?
is it. Yeah, this
What
will
else have we
make
got?
us or break us. More live shows, Swoop.
You're kidding.
You are the master of the live shows. And we are doing one at West's Bulldogs in Brisbane on the Friday night.
Oh,
that is
Sylvan
the
Road.
18th. Yeah. Get on to our website, www.kickoffsandkickons.com, or go direct to West Bulldogs to book us. Another great show. More yarns from you guys. More Lions tales from you. Swoop, I can't wait for that. Goodness me.
Friday night swoop is a good swoop.
Yeah. It's my favourite swoop.
Yeah, because it kind of just continues on from the Thursday, doesn't he? Okay, very very good. We're pumped for this season, the KOKO Lions. Because is it officially called the KOKO Lions Tour?
Yeah.
It's not officially. It's unofficially.
Official.
Yeah, we've got to be careful legally.
Oh, do we? Okay.
You know, we're racking up the lawyers' bill, so let's just be careful.
There
well,
goes our
those-
sponsorships.
Oh, it's going to be a good book, fellas.
Yeah, good tell-all. Brilliant. That was the KOKO show. Anybody got anything else to add?
I do. I just want to say well done, boys.
Yeah, what for?
Just that.
Oh,
Yeah,
good on
we
you.
did
It was
there.
good.
Well, we got sponsors finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Swoop got a guest. It's almost like, what has happened to
Actually, we're starting to get our shit together, aren't we?
Yeah. You were good. You are
were
good.
good
Don't
today.
you get me started on
today.
you.
And those Guinnesses went down a dream. So thank you, Guinness.
Mother's milk.
Thank you, Guinness. Give us one.
Cuckoo!
Not bad.
I like the hollow. Oh, at the end. That's nice. Lovely pitch.
Oh, wow. That is the best video on YouTube. You know what you need to do now? You need to like and subscribe down there. Or if you want extra content, might be down there, you need to go up here or up here and get more of that gear. Thanks for supporting Kickoffs and Kick-Ons, and we will see you very soon.